actually. It's just just so y'all know, ignore that exit screen, intro screen. That has nothing to do with the channel. I'll eventually fix that. But welcome. We're gonna be just doing our own thing. If you can hear, you can hear. If you can't hear, I'm sorry. Just one person today, but there's one important person. So, all right. So last time we talked, we did your stretches. We did some balance and a little bit of strength. We're gonna work on that lower. Did you do any of your stretches? Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna test them and see how.
Good like 3 days.
Hey, we're gonna test your kicking ability here. Okay. The majority of the times, people coming into you, you don't want to give them a chance to get up close. Okay. So what you want is come on, come up a little bit right there. So if I'm coming at you, most people tend to retreat. Okay, you have to have at least two different options for your self-defense. Either you're going to attack with your hands, or three: attack with your hands, attack with your feet, or run. I would say make sure you analyze your threat first and see if you got their weapons. If they have weapons, it kind of answers the question for you. Yes, you don't fight with knives, okay, unless you are fully ready to take a couple of gashes, possibly a deep wound. Knives are the one thing you don't want to mess with. Guns are a little bit more um, definite in that they have a specific way to get you injured. Knives can haphazardly catch you, right? And a little lance could end up nicking something deep. And what with a have you at gunpoint, give them what they want. Just give them what they want, unless they put hands on you. But if they're close enough to put hands on you, and they have a gun, you have a chance to get the gun. It's just what it is. I'm not saying to take the chance. I'm just saying you have a chance. The same thing with a knife.
Yeah.
Unless they come at you and they have the knife here, give them what they want. The chance of you disarming the knife without getting your neck cut is like 0.1%. You will get hurt. Don't. That's no. Unless you're looking for a Colombian necktie, don't do it. Okay.
That's totally my instinct.
Right. The other option is if they're coming in, quickly at you, and you don't want to have to fire a punch, is to fire an extension kick to try and keep them off. But firing a kick here can make you off balance if you don't know what you're doing. So if you're coming in at me and I stop you from coming in, that's one way. So I want to aim for like the hip, not necessarily the chest or the face, but if I aim for the hip, it puts them off balance and they won't come at you. But you have to make sure that aim is,
Right.
and it has to be decisive. You have to decide if you're doing it or not. There's no, then you're screwed because now they're in. If you're deciding this is my strong suit, use that as your first. If it's your punching, wait till they get in range. Just make sure you pick which one you're going to do long before the threat gets here. The other thing is if they get in close before you can decide, you have to figure out what your next move is going to be. Either you're going to subdue them with a grapple or damage something so vital on them that they cannot proceed any further forward. But what we're going to work on today is the stopping the threat, advancing in two different kinds of kicks. Okay, one for the legs and one for the hip. The one for the leg is if you're advancing, is that I stop you right at the knee of the advancing foot, not the stationary one that's already in front. So you have to anticipate where the next step is coming from, especially if they're coming quickly enough, is to step in and push on the leg that's advancing when it's about that time. The other one is that hip kick, right for the outside hip, one left or run. You're trying to get the hip that's furthest back
Okay.
because the hip that's furthest back has the most chance of getting stuck. If it's coming forward, they have the chance of breaking through it. It's the most stationary, it's the most planted one, and if that goes out, then the advancing foot can't come forward. That's the plan.
Well,
That's
the advancing foot has to now go work on balance.
book and balance. So they no longer can come towards you. With that stoppage of the foot with the knee, you can then step in and strike. Okay. And I tell people this, the goal of self-defense is twofold. It's to stop the threat and then neutralize the threat. There are some cases where you leave the threat and you retreat, depending on the situation you're in. Like if you're by yourself, you might want to slightly neutralize before you run, but always run if you can. Running is not a chicken way. It's a good way to get away. He who fights and runs away lives to fight another day. So that's the mantra I live by. I'm not trying to fight you, but if I have to fight you, I want to be ready to fight you. Right now, you're not ready to fight. Okay, the groundwork, you don't have that. You don't have enough power to hit people. You don't have the ground game. We're gonna having brothers, they still go light.
The floor is my safe place.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
we'll test that theory.
I literally take people to the floor.
We'll test that
That's my
theory.
comfort zone.
We'll test that theory. We'll see if you're ready to do it to somebody that's willing to harm you. See, brothers
Okay.
aren't fully willing to harm you.
Real brothers are very willing to harm me. They
No.
are gross.
Nope. You have not seen willing to harm you. Brothers don't give you that. Brothers prep you to take some beatings, but they don't fully prep to.
I'm prepped.
Hear me out. Would any of your brothers kill you?
Possible.
I mean, like intentionally come
I
on,
mean, I'm not going to say
choke
no.
you to death?
There's one I'm not going to say no.
No, those aren't brothers.
There's not never.
They're just blood relatives. They're not really brothers at that point. See, told you. There it was. So the key here, and I understand your ground game is where you're grounded. Okay, so let me give you an example. All right.
Take out their feet, bring them down because that's where I could.
How would you take out their feet?
My legs.
How?
Or pushing them.
Show me.
Either way.
Show me. Yeah.
I don't want to hurt you. No.
Just show me. Show me slowly what you would do.
No, I would either like when they would come in, I would
Mhm.
either like do this thing and like
Mhm.
push them with
And
my
what if
hip.
they step back? I'll say, go ahead and
They don't. They
go ahead
weren't
and go ahead
very-
and grab. Okay, so you can go ahead and get your feet.
Either that or it's, as soon as they're here,
Uh-huh.
this is me literally with my brother. The minute I think things are gonna start physical,
You drop to the floor,
I drop to the
and then I stomp you in the
Because
head.
as soon as I drop to the floor, the first thing I do is
Grab the leg.
I
Okay.
grab their feet with my leg and then I roll.
Now, if you rolled, right? So go ahead and grab the feet. All right, you grab the feet, and then you roll.
And then I just start rolling as crazy as I can.
Okay, so go ahead and try and roll.
I don't want to like break their
Go ahead and I'll show you something. Go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll. You see what I mean? And I have. Okay, go ahead now. Go ahead. Go ahead now. Go ahead. Or shoes, come on. Okay. Now go ahead and move.
Okay. Let me think this through. Sometimes I gotta pause for a second. Think these through. Let's see where my legs are at. Then I get to where I can.
But you're out, so I'm out too.
Huh?
No, but I'm out too. Go ahead and take me down.
I did take you down.
But I'm out.
What do you mean?
I'm not tied up anymore.
Yeah, because I pushed you away from me so that I can back away.
But if I'm coming again, what are you gonna do?
Keep backing away. And then
Okay,
if
so
you
I'm
keep
up.
coming, we're gonna grapple
So I'm
again.
up. I'm up. Go ahead. I'm up. How do you get me down again? I need to work through it.
Let me make sure.
How do you work through it?
I just think it through.
Uh-huh. Go ahead.
Just kind of look for an opening. And I usually try and talk and keep them distracted.
What if I'm not?
Huh?
What if I'm not?
What is your help?
What's your first move from here?
Okay, I think. Probably run. Because I don't think, like right now where you're at, if you were a threat in front of me, I don't see a way I can win.
Why not? What's the first thing you could do?
First thing, run.
No. What's the first thing you could do?
Push you over.
I'm here.
I can see, I can kick your knee.
Try.
I mean, I don't know. Kick
What's the first thing you should do? What's the most disorienting thing you can do to me? My face. Because I'm presenting it. I'm presenting it, right? It's no, don't do that. So this is the first thing, right? The first thing you want to smack is here, and not with these. A full palm. Okay. So go ahead and reach for the strike. No. Your hand don't want to be straight. Come again. Squat with me. Okay. Now what? Good. Now you're good. That's fine. Trust me, I can take the hit. You want to get your arm bent, not fully extended, and you're trying to get a hit with the elbow dragging across the face, not just a hit and pull back. So slowly.
So I want to go through.
Now, watch my hands. You see where my body went to? I didn't do this. I did this. The same thing with the punch. Pow. And you're trying to go through. Go ahead. Again. Again. And aim for the ear. Okay? You're trying to get that shock of the equilibrium. Get that ringing.
Yeah.
One, I can no longer think of advancing because my ears are ringing. Now you can go for my leg. And it has to be quick. So if I'm here, it's bam, down. Like I said, I can take the hits. It's not a problem.
I just feel bad.
So you're here, you go bam, and straight.
Going to get to the ground.
Okay? No. You're not trying to pin them to the ground. You're not in a position, if someone's stronger than you, to hold them there. But you are trying to get them. Bap, grab, toss, move. Shoulder check, holding the leg. They're down, then love. Just book it. This is the assumption that someone is stronger than you. Unless you've proven otherwise beforehand, you're not stronger than them. You're not. The ground is your final resort. Final, not your first. It might be your strong suit in your world, but when you had me down and were trying to figure it out, I had your side. I could have disemboweled you like that. And I wasn't fighting. I wasn't trying. I wasn't trying to overpower you. So if you were to try that, I'm telling you now, it would fail. Okay? Your best option is to neutralize them in a ground where they cannot fight back. And the easiest way is to get rid of the equilibrium. Pop, get them, grab the leg, chuck them down, retreat, dip. The facts that you are, your strongest suit should be your last one to use, not your first. You want to work on something beforehand, getting to that point. You don't want to get tussled. One, they may show you one weapon. That doesn't mean they have 3 or 4 or 5 more waiting for you to get that close to end you. I'm not giving them that chance. I'm stopping you before, I'm stopping you before, or I'm stopping you before. I'm not letting you get into that chance, which is why I say if they have you at knife point, give them what they want. Just give it to them. Stop fighting for them. It's replaceable. You can stop your bank account. Don't give in, okay? Just relent. If they keep coming after they get that, or they're coming for something else, this is where then you start to say, okay, now I have to figure out my next moves to keep them from physically harming me, okay? Some of it means giving up ground to get the positioning you want. And this is where most women don't want to go for self-defense. So like, say I did get in to grab your throat. Your first instinct is what? If just a thought of someone grabbing your throat, what do you think happens to your mind? You phase out, panic. First thing you want to make sure is to not panic. Okay, because a panic mind is already a defeated one. You can't focus, you can't concentrate. Okay, so if I have you here, what's the first thing you ought to do? No.
I can't reach you.
No, it's what? Positioning, right? So if I have you, you want to step back to where you can be ready. Okay, so they don't see it. They think you're retreating because I'm getting choked. I'm stepping back once to prep. The first thing the person is going to do, this is just natural because they're not looking to fight, they're thinking you're a target, is to come with you. Now you have them thinking, oh, they think I'm retreating. Step back again. And the next time you step, you have momentum now. 1, 2, 3. So now if I have my hand around your neck and you step back 3, 1, 2, the first thing you want to do is grab, no, not grab the palms or the wrists. Come back again. When I step back with you, step once and then grab, watch me, grab this arm over this arm. That arm, I grab that arm, right. Then grab this arm and underneath into your bar. Grab that. Yep, and now pull down. So you go over the top, and yep, go over top and drag down.
Wait, I'm not on anything.
This, grab that hand, and that hand grabs your hand and pulls down.
This hand doesn't have to wrap around one of yours?
Nope. Okay. Up and over and under. Up and over, under. Drag down.
So this is like the beam.
Mhm. Yeah. And even if you decide, okay, I can't get to grab this hand, rest it on it. So you drag both down.
If I can't grab it.
If you can't, if it's too large of a hand, put your hand over it and drag down. Okay. Now remember though, they're coming back. That's why you can able to break it from your neck. It's one movement. You step back and drag down at the same time. Now where are they at?
Over there.
Their head is where?
Down.
So if you break down my arm, yep, grab it and bring down. If I'm here now, what's the next move?
Push it
You see what's open to you?
down. Right in your face.
You're trying to get, now remember, they are trying to harm you. You should not be worried about what you're going to do to them. They were about to choke the life out of you or get you in a position where they can harm you physically. The last thing you want to do is to give them, oh, it's okay, I'm not going to harm you. Incapacitation is what you're looking for. Here, grab, break down. Right to the face. Right to the, yeah, right to the face. Huh? That's okay. I'll figure it out. Okay, right to the face. Even if it's a kick, but if he's right there, don't step back any further. Launch in. If you want to launch to the side of the head, you want to, but you want to hit him. Because once that happens, then you run. You have to get rid of this idea that everyone's okay. They're just hard up on luck. I'll give you hard up on luck if you were tired. I'd give you hard up on luck if you were homeless and like destitute to the nth degree. But even then, you're going about it the wrong way, and I had to teach you a lesson for doing that dumb stuff. Okay? So we're gonna make sure that you don't do that to somebody else. I'm helping you learn a life lesson.
I mean, I see it. I'm recognizing that it's a block on my
So there you go, guys. We'll catch up again.